Hi everyone, the following diagram represents a large Ferris wheel at an amusement park. The points P, Q, and R represent different positions of a seat on the wheel. The wheel has a radius of 50 meters and rotates clockwise this way. Well, it already did it, it's right here, at a rate of 1 revolution every 30 minutes. So it makes a complete round every 30 minutes. A seat starts at the lowest point, P, when its height is 1 above the ground. So we're going to answer these questions. So it says find the height after 15 minutes. So basically after, this is 5A, the whole rotation is 30 minutes. So after 15 minutes, it's halfway through. So that's 50 plus 50, then you have to add the 1. So that's going to be 100 plus 1 because it's above the ground. So that's going to be equal to 101. All right, next. After 6 minutes, the seat is at point Q. Find the height above the ground. So this height. All right, so what we want to do first on that one is notice that, let's take, so this is 5B. We're taking 30 minutes divided by 6 minutes equals 5. So it's to be divided by 5. So your period for this is going to be equal to 2 pi divided by 5. And that's your B part. All right. And then what we can do is let's just draw another right triangle. So I'm going to draw it like this. You draw the triangle, a right triangle, and let the radius be 50. And the if you figure this out, by the way, this is like 2 pi divided by 5 is 360 divided by 5, that's 72 degrees. So let's say this is 72 degrees. And this is your height. So what you want to do is you want to take cosine of 2 pi divided by 5, or you could just say 72 degrees. Make sure your calculator is in degrees or radians, is adjacent, which is your height, divided by 50. So that's going to be 50 cosine of, if you're in radians, you're going to type this in, equals this height here. So that's going to be equal to 15.4. And that's basically this. I shouldn't have drawn it like that. That's this height right in here. So basically to get your actual height, what you want to do is do your radius. So you have your whole radius here. So that's 50 plus 1 minus this height that we drew down. So minus your 15.4. And that's going to give you your total height, which is equal to 35.5. So basically, this total height. So you're adding this whole thing, but you're subtracting this little piece in here. All right, next. What is it saying? It's saying for C, the height of the seat above the ground after T minutes can be modeled by this function. Find the value of B and C. So the first thing we want to notice is that our B is equal to 2 pi divided by the period. Well, our period is 30 minutes. So our B is 2 pi divided by 30, which equals pi divided by 15. All right? And that's also equal to 0.209. Now, we can also substitute it back into h, and we already know that h of 0, that's times 0, we're at height 1. At h of 15, we already did this one, we were at 101. That was this one right here that we did earlier. This was 101. Now, substituting it back into our equation, we have, let's write our equation. H of t equals 50 sine of b, and our b was pi over 15. And then this right in here. So our h of t, what we want to do is go ahead and use this point. Now remember, this point is 0, 1, and this point here was 15, 101. So either one of these points, plug it back into the equation. So when you plug that in, 1, I'm just going to use this one, equals 50 sine, because we have to solve for c. We already found b. So this is pi divided by 15. And then we had this t minus c. Well, in our case, our t is 0. So it's going to be 0 minus c plus 151. All right. So this was t minus c plus 151. Plus 51. So this is just negative c. So what we get is 1 equals 50 sine of negative pi over 15c plus 51. Now, solving for that, you're going to subtract 51 from both sides, and you're going to get negative 50 equals, let me turn my paper here. Negative 50 equals 50 sine of negative pi divided by 15c. All right, and divide both sides by 50, so you get negative 1 equals, now I can put this negative in front here, because this is an odd function, sine of pi divided by 15c. All right, now divide both sides by negative sine of pi divided by 15, and that gives you your c. And when you do that, c is going to equal 7.5. All right, so that is b. We got b was negative, b was pi over 15, and here is your c. Finally, the last one, the height above the ground after t minutes can be modeled by this equation. Find the value of t the first time the seat is 96 meters above the ground. So basically for that, you just set it equal to like this. 96 equals 50 sine pi divided by 15 times t minus 7.5 plus 51. Subtract 51 from both sides, and you get 45 equals 50 sine pi over 15 times t minus 7.5. Right, divide both sides by 50, and So that's going to leave you 45 divided by 50. That's 9/10. Or you can just use your calculator. Is sine of pi divided by 15, t minus 7.5. All right. Now, to solve for this, and again, you should have a calculator, this is going to be 9/10. I'll write it in here. 9/10 divided by sine of pi divided by 15. And then after you divide by this will go away, and you're going to add 7.5, and that gives you your t. And when you get your t, when you do this part in your calculator, again, make sure your calculator's in radians, you're going to get t equals 12.8 minutes. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.